Welcome back to our channel and join us on this adventure as we ride through the Fraser Canyon towards Barkerville. Our original plan was to see where the wind takes us as we camp hammock tenting. We then headed to the start of the Alaska Highway to Dawson Creek and turned east as we encountered wildfires and went on to Jasper and the Icefeilds Parkway. Our final night we camped in Golden before riding home the last day. The Fraser Canyon ride is always one of my favorite places, with a long history of Indigenous settlements, European exploration, the gold rush, and engineering feats building the Caribou Wagon Road, rail lines, bridges, roads, and tunnels. The canyon descends through the coastal mountains and has been Indigenous fishing grounds for centuries. Simon Fraser described the gorge as the gates of hell after he and his men inched their way along the cliffs in 1808 using rope ladders made by their Indigenous guides. The Caribou Wagon Road of 1860 stretched from Fort Yale to Barkerville and was built to improve the transportation of supplies to the mines. Large wagons were able to load freight from the steamers at Yale and carry it all the way to the mines. Yale was a town with a busy dockside life and a population that housed 8,000 during the gold rush. The CPR railroad's tunnels of 1885 used portions of the Caribou Wagon Road as there was no room for both to pass through the canyon. The 7 highway tunnels were constructed in 1957 to 1964 for the Trans-Canada Highway project that we still use today. The Thompson River, named in honor of David Thompson, the Columbia Basin explorer, has a geological history heavily influenced by glaciation, and the several large glacial lakes have filled the river valley for the last 12,000 years. Spence's Bridge was originally known as Cook's Ferry, named after the ferry crossing from 1862 to 1866, before the first bridge was built. The Kettle Valley Railway included a spur line from Merritt to Spence's Bridge. The rail bed is still intact today, along with the original bridges. The Smallwood Gothic Revival Church alongside the highway was built between 1905 and 1907 as an Anglican church on the site of a much older building. Beautiful day to be up the Fraser Canyon on the bikes. We're going to head towards Prince George and see where it takes us.
It's very exciting. I'm thrilled. It's a little hot.
Great little rest stop though. Good to have some Gatorade. Fill up the water bottle. At the end of the Ice Age, about 10,000 years ago, this chasm was formed by a stream from the melting ice, and it dug into the layers of the lava rock.
Got me breathing underwater. Baby, when you're around, I can do anything.
Not much better than waking up to listening to a small waterfall in the creek. It's just so beautiful. So last night we decided to pull into 100 Mile, and we actually stayed at the municipal campgrounds, and we set up our hammocks here in the trees. Jonathan tried out his new hammock and absolutely loved it, so that was a total success. And we pulled in on our bike, set up our nice little chairs, had a wonderful meal, and it was actually our anniversary last night, so kind of the perfect way to celebrate it camping. And we cooked delicious soft tacos and had just a lovely evening. And we're gonna probably get on our bikes here in a moment, and well, once we get packed up, and head towards Barkerville. I've had my little shower with my bucket, and we are off. 100 Mile House began in the 1860s as a stopping house on the old Caribou Road during the gold rush, as it is 100 miles from mile 0 in Lillooet. Williams Lake is named in honor of Chief William. Indigenous habitation dates back 6,500 years in this region. During the gold rush, the two roads leading to the gold fields met near Williams Lake, where they built a stopping house, post office, courthouse, jail, and a government house. After all these years, we actually made it to Barkerville. Hey, Johnny! William Billy Barker, an English prospector, and his crew struck the mine at a depth of 52 feet on August 17, 1862. Barkerville's story begins here on the indigenous lands with settlements that date back over 10,000 years in this region. By the 1880s, Chinese made up half of the Caribou region's population, and Barkerville's Chinatown history is an extensive collection of buildings and artifacts we can learn from today. Barkerville is a living history museum of 125 buildings that stands as a testament to BC's golden beginnings in the Caribou goldfields. It is the site of the first ever Dominion Day celebration on July 1st, 1868. The anniversary of Confederation, we call Canada Day. Welcome to Barkerville. It actually looks super cool. And we actually are going to go down the road tonight, and looks like we got a little camping spot right close. So it should be a lot of fun, and we'll come back even again tomorrow. Jonathan actually wants to go for a stagecoach ride, so we may have to oblige him on that.
Yeah. Have a nice dolly shot.
That's awesome. Oh, there's the St. George Hotel with kind of the corbels. There was one building here that had, there it is, with the corbels right there. It's the Masonic Hall. That's neat. This would be the Chinatown area of Barkerville. And actually in 2014, our government finally apologized for what was demonstrated throughout our history. Jonathan and I stopped for a delicious lunch, and it had a ton of history and old photographs in here. It was quite interesting. And the wonton soup and a beer, lovely. These old Cornish wheels used to pump from 40 to 100 feet below the ground, bringing gold-bearing gravel. This is all still part of the Chinatown area. A lot of people were still living here in 1930, and there was a few of the buildings in this area that didn't get burnt down in the fire in 1869. As typical with any of the mining towns through BC. What is always so interesting, though, is the part of our past where there was so much segregation between nationalities. The Barker and Company claim struck pay dirt on this site in 1862, and between then and the early 1900s, they found about 600,000 in gold, which was recovered, worth about 42 million today. I love the old buildings, and I love how they've redone and protected everything. Lots of families, lots of reenactments going along. Hey tourist, how you doing, biker tourist? You like this?
Yeah, it's groovy.
I like the Masonic halls. They're important to my own history. So you can actually stay here in any of the little hotels, and there's guest houses and there's restaurants, which is kind of fun. It is quite a fun place, and actually a lot more remote than I actually ever thought it was. There we go, all locked and loaded and ready to rock and roll down the road. Very, very happy. Again, always leave the campsite cleaner than you found it. And we weren't visited by any grizzlies last night, so
Well, nice.
You happy about that?
I'm very happy about that. Yeah, I'm very, very happy.
And we're off. Just came in to wake up Jake's for breakfast. Now Jonathan will be a very happy traveler. Pretty sweet Barkerville breakfast. Happy man. And we're... Have a good day. Thank you for watching this portion of our adventure, and please watch our next video as we ride to Dawson Creek and Mile Zero of the Alaska Highway, and on to the Icefeilds from Jasper. As always, we enjoy sharing our travels with you, and please like and subscribe, and many thanks to those that already have. Don't forget to get out and ride.